Now, SBI research report based on income tax returns filed for financial year 11 to financial year 2021 to financial year 2022 shows positive trends such as rise in average income of the middle class and significant decline in the number of returns with zero tax liability. Now, armed with this report, BJP has claimed vindication on the economy front, and it has said that the Indian middle class has grown bigger. Average income has grown from 4.4 lakh in financial year 2012-13 to 13 in financial year 2022. So, SBI research report based on income tax returns filed for financial year 2011 to financial year 2022 shows positive trends such as rise in average income of the middle class and significant decline in the number of returns with zero tax liability. Now, armed with this report, the BJP has claimed vindication on the economy front, and it has said that the Indian middle class has grown bigger and average income has grown from 4.4 lakh in financial year 2012-13 to 13 in financial year 22. So, big claims that are being made by the BJP, which is saying that the Indian middle class has grown bigger. Now, this comes after SBI research report based on income tax returns filed for financial year 2011 to financial year 2022 shows positive trends such as rise in average income of the middle class and significant decline in the number of returns with zero tax liability. Now, we'll just walk you through the highlights of the SBI report that has been released. Now, it states that average income of the middle class has tripled. So, this is what the SBI report says. Now, it also says that income up from 4.4 lakh in financial year 2013 to 13 lakh in financial year 2022. So, this rise in income from financial year 2013 to financial year 2022 is a part of the SBI report. Now, it also states that 13.6% left lower income strata and moved upwards. So, this is a big point that is in the SBI report, that 13%, over 13% people moved from the lower strata to upwards. Now, big decline in zero tax liability returns. So, this is also what the SBI report states, and it also states that average income expected to go up further. So, as we were telling you that 13.6% left lower income strata and migrated upwards. Now, the report also states that average income is expected to go up even further by 2047. Now, average income to reach rupees 49.70 lakh by 2047. So, this is what the SBI report states. We also have our senior editor Pallavi Ghosh joining us on this story. Pallavi, so big pointers a part of the SBI research reports that states that over 13.6% people move from the lower strata upwards, and in fact it is also only going to rise in the coming years.
So I think apart from the statistics, just to break down what is the implication of it, I mean, one figure I can rattle off is that 65% of the income taxpayers are supposed to move up from the middle class. See, there are two things which are very critical over here, and that's very important for any economic growth or green shooting of the economy, as it's called. One is how many people are moving from the lower income segment to the middle, and from middle to the upper middle class, and then to the higher middle class. That is essentially what this report seems to be suggesting, that the upward movement has increased in comparison to any downward movement. So that is a very good sign as far as economic growth and all the experts are. The second thing, of course, is that a number of transparency cases have increased, which means the number of people filing the income tax is becoming larger and larger, which means that the entire focus on transparency by the government, whether it's in terms of UPI payment or paying your income taxes on time and giving incorrect income tax assessments, which is very important as a revenue earning for the government so as to come out with the infrastructural development project, that also has increased. See, this is always going to have a rippling effect. When your middle class movement starts moving up, you mean to say that you start, of course, you save more, but you also tend to spend more. And that is what helps in the churning of the economy. Remember during the COVID times, and if you're looking at many other economies like China, which are facing a downturn is that people don't want to spend money. They want to hold their savings. They want to hold their money. That is something which is in stark contrast to what is happening over here. People are getting more and more, according to this report, getting comfortable in their zone, so they don't have any qualms about spending. So when you spend on various facts, like, for example, refrigerators or electronic goods and so on and so forth, it helps in boosting sales. Of course, it helps in boosting the economic growth. That's one. Second, when more and more people are going to start paying the income tax, it means there's more cash available, more revenue generation for the government, and therefore the large number of infrastructural projects, whether it's railways or industries, roadways, all of that gets a boost if there's more revenue available with the government.
Also, Pallavi, we've seen the opposition time and again targeting the government over unemployment and inflation. But can the BJP now use this SBI report as a counter to those?
Well, I mean, the thing remains, and it's something which even the government and the finance ministry do speak about, that the challenge remains. There is still a degree of unemployment which needs to be tackled. The picture is not as gloomy as the opposition parties are making it out to be. If you remember the Prime Minister's speech on Independence Day, he has said that there has to be a focus on the Vishwakarmas, which is the artisans, the laborers. They are the ones who need to move up. Apart from that, a lot of focus on the middle class. They become economically and politically significant class.
All right. All right, Pallavi, please stay with us. We are being joined by Chhattisgarh Deputy Chief Minister T.S. Singh Deo. Mr. Deo, a very good morning to you. So we have this SBI report. SBI has released a report which states that it is based on the income tax returns filed for financial year 2011 to financial year 2022, and it shows positive trends such as rise in average income of the middle class and significant decline in the number of returns with zero tax liability. Your reaction?
Good morning. Good morning to all your viewers too. I am really not aware of this report, but if the State Bank has released it, if they are the source, they would probably be taking it on the basis of those people who are approaching them for loans, etc. There, a couple of things could have happened. One is the number of taxpayers. That itself has, the tax bracket has more than doubled. If the exemption earlier was, let us say, 2 lakhs, if it is 5 lakhs today. So 2.5 times the base itself has increased. That is one thing. So a lot of people would have slipped out of the tax bracket at the lower end. The other thing is that on the field, it does not seem to show that. Neither has the GDP tripled. I doubt if the country's GDP has tripled. The average income is based on the GDP of the country, where you divide it by the population, etc. So I don't see that as having happened. And the other thing is that with inflation, the cost of the same thing increases. So the wealth, so to say, of the country would also appear to have increased. And the share per person would increase if the value of the goods in the country have increased. So that in itself shows an increase in income. It will appear to show an increase in income. What needs to be seen is what is the condition of the people as per the incomes they actually enjoy. And had the incomes really tripled, the issue of inflation and the middle class being burdened by inflation, that would never have come up. There would have been happiness all around. That is absent. That is not so. So what appears to be happening is that your salary has not increased or your income has not increased proportionate to the cost of goods. That I think is very clear. So your base could be something on which a particular bank is evaluating average incomes. But that is the status of the middle class. I doubt it very much. Purchasing capacity has not tripled.